I'd like to walk you through what happens to this bottle that somebody in a car walking along the street or possibly dropping it at an inlet, and it winds up, and it can either come overland to here or it can come through this outfall. Now this plastic bottle, as everybody knows, will float when the water's high and filling. So what's going to happen to this bottle, with the cap on particularly, it's going to make its way down to Coney Creek. It'll then make its way to the Delaware River, through the Delaware Bay, out into the Atlantic Ocean. Now, in the Atlantic Ocean, we've got the Gulf Stream, and as we know, it's a nice warm water. You go a little beyond the Gulf Stream, it turns out that there's an area out there where there's very little movement, and that's where there's the North Atlantic plastic garbage patch. Many of you might have heard of the Pacific garbage patch. It turns out by Bermuda, there's a garbage patch on the Atlantic. And there's been a group from Woods Hole, Massachusetts, who have been studying the concentrations for a long time. And as best I can tell, Philadelphia, New York, and the other East Coast cities are all contributing to our Atlantic patch. So what we have to think about is these plastic bottles have a long life, and if they don't get trapped somewhere along the way in the creek or the river, they're going to make it all the way to the Atlantic. And someday they'll break down and they become small plastic pieces. Fish and birds see it, it's floating, and they're going to eat it and wind up in their stomach. And then eventually someday there'll be a piece of tuna on your plate that may well have plastic in it that came from a bottle like this. So we have to solve this problem. It's in all of our interest to solve it. This plastic is a serious long-term water pollution problem.